Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants Editor and I'm Jewel, and as you can see we're on the 10.0.4 version of Giants Editor for Farming Simulator 25, and we're going to go ahead today. I got to update you on what's going on with the map and the video I did about the dirt, uh, adding the texture. I want to clarify something that I didn't do right in the video. I thought I put the right path, but obviously I didn't. And when I saved and closed my map and came back in, as you can see, the fields that I painted were not saved. And I want to show you because it's a typical error that can be made. And for the beginners, yeah, you might not know what's going on, but basically, when you look in your log, it's going to tell you the information of what's wrong. And in this case, it was some information that we added too much in the XML, that we had two more things in there, like the path we didn't need, two more file path locations or whatever you want to call it. So I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. Go to wherever you had put it, which would be map US for me in the Jules Peaceful Valley map. Go to the i3D, click on it, right click on it, edit with Notepad++, and here it is. Here, what I had put when I did it was maps US data, dirt 01 weight PNG. The problem is whenever you're opening the i3D, they're counting the file path from the i3D. So let's go show you what I'm talking about. And this will be a good explanation so you'll know what path to put. Because sometimes when you put it, you put maps US, and whatever's after that. So if you opened up all these collectibles and then you'd hit this one here or whatever, you would put all that. But in this case, the map US one is saying from this area, whatever's listed here, and forward, which would be if you open up data and say the dirt one that's in here is wherever it is. Here it is, right there and right there. See there? So it would be data and then the dirt file, not maps US, because those are before the map i3D. So I just thought I put it right when I was in there, and I didn't, and I wanted to make sure if you're having problems after you watch that video, everything's correct, and there is one more line of information you should add, but it works even if you didn't add that other piece. But you got to put this or it won't save it. What it does, if you don't put that path that we just talked about in the map i3D right here, it won't save the dirt to your little weight PNG file. So if we go back to the folder, go to data, and come in here to the dirt one, you see right there, I'm going to double click it. Look, see, it saved the ones I painted afterward. I had painted them all on the video. Y'all saw me paint it on a later video after I added the dirt texture. I painted all the fields dirt. And now you see they're not all painted dirt, but I had to go back after I fixed it, and I only painted a few so I could test, and you can see that it adds it. But if you got it wrong and you didn't put your right path, it will not add the dirt after you paint it and you save it. You come out of the thing and go back in, all of it's going to be back to whatever it was before the dirt was painted. And then it's not going to add it in here. So if you look at your dirt weight PNG, you'll see, open it up, you'll see whether it painted it or not, and you'll know. But you'll know once you save it. If you go out and come back in and it's not there, you know your path is wrong. Okay? So that's what happened. That's the mistake I made in the video. I just wanted to, and I put it a pinned comment saying what was wrong, what to do. I put read in the title of the video. I wrote read pin comment. I didn't have enough room to write pinned, but and I pinned the comment showing what you needed to change. So, but there is one more thing I haven't added to that yet, but I should probably add it after this video. There's one more piece of information you need to put, and you can go under Map US, right click, edit with Notepad++, and you see this line here where it says dirt. Well, originally this wasn't here, and they have it as the mud light right there. See how it says mud light at the end of it here? Well, what you want to do is go into the main game. So I'll jump over here because I'm already in the main game, and I'll go back through it in case you don't know, but my path could be different than your path. You might be in C drive, Program Files 86, and then if you have Steam, go to Steam, and then Steam Apps, double clicking all these, then Common, double click, and then whatever farm and sim you have in here. I only have 19 in here. Now, you could be in a total different place, like no place that I don't even have. So I don't know, wherever you installed your game, that's where you go. I'm going to D drive, Steam library, wherever it is, double clicking all these Steam apps, Common, Farm Sim 25, Data, and then in this case Maps US in this case, and then Config. Let me see what I'm trying to look for. No, the Map US XML for the main game, the one we're trying. Actually, no, cancel that. They don't have it. I'll open it to show you. Right click, edit with Notepad++, go to the bottom. As you can see, this is what mine looked like before. They didn't add it. But since I brought it in, I'm going to close that. I'm gonna minimize this. Since I brought it in from the I believe it's the EU map. Let me look. Yeah, this one. The dirt textures on that map, so they had the information. So you're going to go under Map EU, go under the XML of Map EU, this little thing here, right click, edit with Notepad++, roll down, and you'll see they had this one, not the other one. So you're going to come all the way down and highlight it, and you should already have this piece here. I pasted that. I'm going to paste this, and this in the video pinned comment, just to show where it where you put it under. You'd put it under this, but you're only going to need this line. Right click, hit copy, and then close this because you don't want to change anything. This is your main game stuff. Remember that. And then it popped us back to where I want to put it. But if you don't pop back to where you need to go, just go back to your map and go all through your files to get back to where your map is. Go to Maps US, then the Map US XML, right click, edit with Notepad++, and then right behind base, hit enter, and it'll space it down. And then I'll paste it in, but I can delete it afterward. Click to the front, depending on how you grabbed it when you highlighted it, and hit paste, and it'll pop it in. And again, if you need to scoot it over, just click it, and you can scoot it, and then space bar or backspace, whatever you need to do. Now, see there it is, and then you would hit save. Make sure you hit save. And then if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Don't hold me to this. I haven't messed with a whole lot of textures. I don't never need to add any, so this time I did. So, but I believe, I could be wrong, I believe this might make it where we can paint that in game, but I'm not sure of that, so don't hold me to that. But I didn't have this line of information, I don't think, and it still worked and put it on the data file, I think. But if not, add this information too. That's the only other thing. Follow that video all the way through. The only thing you need to change is what I told you about the map XML, wherever we were. We could go back to it and show you. This one you need to add, and the Map US I3D, and just put whatever your path is, and it should be from the I3D. Okay, if somehow you've moved your data further from your I3D, which I doubt you probably haven't, but if you have, say data's not here. Say you had a folder and then data, then something, then the weight files. Then you're going to add whatever's here in this one first, because it's in the I3D list area. That's why they're calling the data one, because it's in the same folder as that. So then they go from data to the dirt. But if you had added an extra folder, it would want that folder. So see, everybody's just different, but I don't think yours would be from here. Most of the time the data's in there, but I can't be sure what your map is set up as. So some are different. Some take out this map US, and you can do that a certain way. You got to do it. I just haven't yet. I don't know whether I will or not. I probably will, but we'll see. Um, it helps make the path shorter because it's kind of a useless thing to have there. I don't even know why they do that. But we're gonna go ahead. I guess I will. I'm gonna be showing a video to help people understand some things. I had to upsize my DEM. I had originally done it this big because it's a 4X, but then I was dealing with these here and changing these and getting them all set up, and I was having some issues in the Giants editor. So then I went back, and then it seemed to look right. I put it back on the 2048. It seemed to look right, and I situated the map, and everything was going okay until I tried to add the fields, and the fields started not doing right. So then I went ahead and put it back. So that's why now I've got to re-smooth my map because it changed it, the resolution. So see, now I got to smooth my map again, which that won't take but probably a few days or so. I don't know, it's pretty big, but once I did that, it fixed one of my problems I was having with the field thing. After we did the fields, the field numbers was showing up over that way, like in the closer to the center, because of the size of the map. The DEM wasn't good. So if you're having a problem, say maybe you have a 4X and you're dealing with that, your field situation, then you need to change your DEM to the 4096, and then it'll change it itself once you save it to the 4097, because it's going to bump that up. But pretty much that's how you do it. Now when I paint the dirt again, I'll paint it and show you. Once I paint the dirt again, it'll stay and it'll write it to that thing. So you click on the dirt now, and I'm going to put it on asphalt to only go on the asphalt. Put the check mark, and it'll only go on the asphalt. And now I can fill this in real quick, and I'll just do like 2 of them. I'll do this one. We'll do them 3. And then we'll save it and show you that it stayed. But before, it didn't stay, and it would give an error about the dirt situation. And so if you're getting an error about it, that's why. That's all you're going to have to fix, is that data and that other little thing. Mostly the data thing, but then the other little thing I think helps you paint it in the game. I'm not sure on that though. Alright, so we're going to save it. And now we're going to go, and I'm going to be explaining what problems I ran into, because I know people run into them. And I looked for a video on it, but there really wasn't. And if somebody has spoke of it, it was probably in the middle of their video, and they didn't title their video that or whatever. So I just had to stare at the stuff until I figured it out. I just looked at some of the pictures of the different things of what the info layers are, and the different things, what they look like after they've been done, and it just hit me out of nowhere. I knew what to do. So I'm going to try to teach a little on that, because I know a lot of people sometimes have one little thing happen, everything else is right, and then you can't get it fixed. So, but we'll go ahead, we hit save. What we'll do then is we'll close it, just so you'll know. I believe I hit save. Let's double check, hit save again, and we'll close it, and we'll go and come back in and show that only those are painted. I redid my field situation because I'll put the dirt under there. Alright, as soon as it closes, now we'll come and look at our dirt. Our updated dirt should be updating, unless I X'd out too quickly. And there we go. See, it painted this other stuff here. See it? That's the ones I painted. This one, and this little one, and the L thing. So it added it. So if I was to go back and keep painting, it would start adding the dirt to it. But if you didn't put that data and the dirt in that i3D XML in the proper path, then it won't be adding it here. Okay? And but anyway, there's just some things I want to teach on that to help you understand some of this, because this was kind of a pain when you're getting going, and I don't never fool with much of that conversion stuff too much. I mean, I kind of know what to do, but there was some little errors that popped up, and I had to deal with them. I figured it out, fixed it. Had to fix the farmlands, had to fix the field situation. I want to go into it because I know there was some people having some problems with the field thing like that. So I'm gonna do a video to try to show how to troubleshoot my mount the way I do it. I didn't know what to do. I just looked at it and stared at it. Actually, I'll show you if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it if I didn't close it. There it is. This one I looked at. This was what was happening in game, but I didn't get a good screenshot of one of the other things. I might have one. This might be it. Yeah. See the numbers? They're going in the middle, and here's my fields, and they're supposed to be over there. Well, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what in the world's going on? So I was looking, this is what was happening and what it would look like. And I'd already cleared it with the farmland. I did everything with that. I did all the different things, and it wouldn't work. So one thing I had to do was add some stuff. I'm not going to go into the full detail right now, but basically I just sit there and stared at this and thought about it. And I was like, what in the world's going on? And then I stared at another one from the end game. I popped this open, and I was staring at it. And I was like, I'll try to minimize, shrink it so you can see it better. Comparing it. I was comparing it, and it didn't quite fit. As you can see, it's part there. That's that one. That's that one. It's got half of this little curve looking thing, and not the other half. It was just all kind of stuff, and I'm like, something ain't right. And I'm like, and I was thinking and thinking, and I had to fix it. And I come up with the answer by staring at this. And then once I did what I did, I fixed it. So I'm going to try to do a video on that. That's just how my brain was able to figure it out, by staring at this. I know y'all like, what in the world are you talking about? Yeah, it was a mess. And I had some errors, and I just sat here and looked at these two things and thought about it. And it just hit me what the problem was. So I'm going to try to do a video on that if I can, or unless I get too busy and forget. But just to try to help some people, if I can find some of the things I saved the errors, so I can, either replicate them or at least tell what they were, so you'll know if you're having the same error or not. Because I think that's missed a lot of times when we're doing map making. We're not showing enough of the errors that we fall into, and we're not fixing it, where you could see it enough. There's some, but there's some that are much different than what's out there a lot of times, or it's not put in the title of the video, and people can't find it when they're looking for the error problem. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be smoothing this map out again, and yeah, so that's not fun, but the rest, at least it's fixed, and I don't have errors in it. So that's what's important. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and then show you real quick one more look, and then we'll go ahead and call it a video. But I wanted to touch on that because I wanted to make sure everybody got their dirt stuff going right in their textures, and if they put the same thing as I put, then they need to correct it. But I told them to put whatever the path was, so if they know what the path was, then they did it perfect with no problem. But if some didn't know for sure about that i3D little deal, where you go from the i3D, then they might not have knew, and they would have not caught it. I'm so used to typing out maps US so much that I didn't even think of that when I was doing it, and so I didn't notice it till I saved after the video I saved and then exited and come back and it was all gone. I'm like, what? So that's what happened. It's taking a second to load, but it's almost through. And but I want to try to get into some of those errors. I want to try to record some of those so that y'all can understand it if you're new. I know a lot of beginners, they don't know. And half of the stuff you can find a little help, but you don't get quite as much as you need if you don't know anything about it. and I just have to look and stare at it and think, and then I just a lot of times it just comes to me. So, but you can see I got a lot of smoothing to do, and now it's to the proper size that it needs to be, and our fields are going to be bigger and the way they should be, and it's going to look, see, the slope's not too high now. Everything's going to be situated properly. And but yeah, the foliage right here, it was there, so that was working right and everything. So I'm going to be smoothing all this out, getting our mountains and forests and all the stuff situated, and we'll be all set to get moving. As you can see, we got to situate the water. This is just temporary so I can see where I want to stop my paint stuff at. I mean, we're going to add the water plane in later, but that's not right now. I want to do a video on it. But we're going to go ahead and call that. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.